Robbie D and the lesser known.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Robbie D and the Lesser Knowns. I, of course, am your expert host, Robbie D. What am I an expert of? I'm an expert at bringing you the truth. In a world full of so much crap, it's nice to have your eardrums massaged by the gentle fingertips of the truth. Because, damn it, you deserve it. With me, as always, is Northwestern graduate and writing school applicant. There you go. Producer Will.
Hello.
Man, a few words. That's how it is. As you guys know, Robbie D and the Lesser Knowns is a show that examines the people that really make Hollywood work. Oh, I must be talking about the rich people up in the hills. That's wrong. I'm talking about the people that show up to the auditions, they book a role, they tell their entire family to tune in Thursday night at 9 p.m. because they're going to have an appearance, only to find out their scene's been cut, and then have to explain to them how Hollywood works. And you know what? They do it all with a smile on their face because they're doing what they love. So without further ado, let's get to today's lesser known. You might know this guy. His IMDb list is super duper long. But a couple of highlights here would be La La Land, Veep, New Girl, Newsroom, Terminator, Never Been Kissed, Fresh Off the Boat, AT&T, Toyota, Chick-fil-A, blah, blah, blah. Oh, so many more. And he looks like he's thinking of it.
I'm bored already.
Yeah, so bored. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. David Douglas.
Hello. Hello. Wow.
Hello.
Hey, brother.
How are you?
I feel good. It always feels good over here.
It does feel good.
This is nice. Cheers to us. Cheers to you.
That's the sound of...
This is wonderful.
That's the sound of this ice-cold, delicious 805 brewed in Santa Barbara County.
Did you? Wow.
We're having one or two while we do this podcast today because it's the afternoon.
Commercial guys talking about commercials doing a commercial.
This is the commercial. Just so you guys know, we don't have sponsors, so 805, you're welcome. Send us a check. Maybe if you want to get a new demographic of Hollywood people drinking 805, let us know.
Just hire us.
Hollywood.
California is definitely not 805 demographic.
I'm just saying, if they want to have sponsors of people who are lesser known drinking their product, give us a call. We got a hotline and a Facebook page. Be sure to check that out.
Super cool.
That being said, this show is not about 805 California. This show's not about anything but David Douglas because he's here for us today. Stop checking your phone.
What should we get into, man?
What should we get into? I don't know. That's as far as I've got with this show.
All right.
That's it. Thanks for tuning in. Good night. No, David, we want to know about you, my friend. You have so many credits here. You have so many great stories.
Let's talk.
I want to know what makes David Douglas tick. Okay. David, let's start with, where are you from?
I'm from Silicon Valley. I'm from San Jose. Grew up in Sunnyvale, which is about 5 minutes north of San Jose. San Jose is about 45 minutes south of San Francisco.
I'm bored already.
Yeah. So, yeah, really. It was a great place to be from. What else?
No, that's it. Good. Let's move forward. So,
let's go. Let's go.
Going.
Siblings, family, nothing.
No,
Nothing.
Forget it.
No, I was dropped off on a doorstep in San Jose. I matured. I grew. I ate things. I foraged.
Oh,
I thrived.
Good.
You know.
That's what you should. So you had a normal childhood.
I guess so, yeah.
Filled with changing body and education.
5 brothers, 3 sisters. Last one.
You're the last one.
I'm the last one. My parents are the second marriage for both of them, and I'm the only one from them. So it was kind of like a Brady Bunch kind of thing.
The Douglas Bunch. The Douglas Bunch.
We didn't have a theme song. We should have had a theme
Well, now
song.
you do.
And that was it. Just a big family. Everyone grew up in San Jose, and then we moved away.
But you knew deep down inside at a young age that the corporate world's not for you.
Oh yeah. No, I knew I wasn't going to work in an office. I knew I couldn't. I couldn't do that.
You just knew.
But also it was like I didn't really leave myself much option. You know, I mean, like when I was younger, but like before I moved here, I was mostly, the only job I had was working in a karate school, which sounds kind of random, but that was the only job I had.
Do you do karate?
I used to. It used to be actually a really big.
Can you do anything now?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's
Here,
like,
punch producer Will.
it's right good. I don't want to pull a muscle, but look.
All right.
No, so like after college, like when people during the time when they start to go to college, I was actually competing and being flown all around the country and Europe, futurist Europe, and that was like what I did. It was like an X game. It was like a really dead X game. You know, like there wasn't really like big sponsors. It was just something that kids did and competed and got trophies. But it was fun, and it was like they had a magazine.
I mean, have you seen Karate Kid? That was in the '80s. That was huge. The All Valley Championship.
Yeah, it wasn't really like that. It was like
All Valley Championship. That's the whole valley.
I mean, yeah, the whole valley. I know.
Not
from
just
Reseda,
North Valley, not Sun Valley.
From Reseda to North Hollywood.
The
right?
whole fucking valley was there. All valley.
Miyagi's taking the
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Pat Johnson, shout out to
rest
Pat
in
Johnson.
peace.
Yeah, man, he was.
Isn't
a
it
good
Pat
guy.
Morimoto?
Yeah, and no, Pat Noriyuki Morita. Yeah, no, that
Morita,
was.
yeah.
But Pat Johnson was the referee between the Johnny and the Daniel. See, I know the real dude.
That's a lesser known.
Yeah.
Let's get him on
I'm
this show.
telling you, it's what I did.
Let's get him on the show.
Yeah, why not?
We could also probably get the guy who played Johnny. It started last name
Zabka?
with Z's. Yeah,
Zabka?
He was just
He'd come on
How
the
I
show.
Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
He got a role. Like we could, if he wants to come on, I'd be lovely to have him. I'll reach out to his agent. Right?
Yeah, once again, let's just not
He's a
talk
really cool
about
guy.
guests that
Really
aren't
super cool guy.
that
Anyway.
are here. Let's talk about guests that are
Hi.
here. But do write that down. Zabka's going to come in. He's a lesser known, whether he wants to admit it or not. So, doing karate championships, but you finally moved to LA. What year was that?
I came over here in '98.
Mm-hmm.
But 96, like I was starting to fly here and go back 96, which was like the year after I graduated, you know, going to community college. I went to De Anza for a little bit. And I was going to college, but I wasn't applying myself. I was basically just smoking and hanging out in the parking lot.
Smoking tobacco?
Yeah. It was all tobacco. It looked like tobacco, but it was not tobacco.
Oh, by the way, that's part of your rider was crack cocaine had to be sort of supplied in order for you to do this interview.
I got to be me, man.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But you finally did move here, and when you moved here, you moved to the Valley, the All Valley.
My God. I remember getting in a car with a buddy of mine from New York, and he was planning on moving here too. He ended up not, and I got an apartment, a 1-bedroom apartment for $615, and it was wonderful. I stayed there for 14 years, and when I left, it was $840.
Did it have a washer dryer?
It did.
Did it have
it had a utility room.
Did it have a dishwasher?
Yep, had a dishwasher.
A parking space?
Had its own 2 parking spaces.
For $615?
$615.
That's a good.
This
deal.
was before the metro was there. This was before it was like it had a lot of foot traffic. You know what I mean? It was cheap. It was big roads, and it was quiet. It was hot as shit. Valley is always hot, but it was before even they put the art. I think the Art Institute in there. Like you know, it was basically just a lot of like Japanese like hip hop dancers, like exchange student Japanese and I know it's random and Britney Spears and Janet Jackson auditioned for music videos.
Interesting.
Excuse me.
Interesting.
That started David's long time.
That's where I was. That's
Yeah.
where I was thrust into. It was wild and magical.
And that was a long time ago. Tell me about your appearance. You had a haircut?
Yeah, man. I was rocking the dreadlocks. They were like down to my shoulders. I was going out for jobs that were like this guy. I think I got Jennifer Love Hewitt high. I got Drew Barrymore high. I got Kevin Dunn high. I was like
Kevin Dunn, for you Seinfeld fans, he's the guy that Kramer tried to take a picture of him doing cocaine in the bathroom. I always like to equate it to Seinfeld, just so you guys know.
Actor. Great
Fan, he was great in Seinfeld.
He's just amazing. I mean, tons of movie work, that guy too. Like he's just one of those guys you see his face and you're like, oh my God, yes, this guy.
Yeah, but he was in Seinfeld, so.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course. Well, shoot, I'm sure.
That's it. You've reached the pinnacle.
once
You've
you've
reached the
done that,
mecca. You've reached the peak.
Moved to
of
Marina
acting.
Del Rey and if I can find a bar to chill at.
That's it.
You've made it.
You've done it. That's what people do when they make it. They move to Marina
That's
Del
right.
Rey.
Playa Del Rey. I don't know.
And they go find a bar to drink at.
You can't have this one. Shatner has this one.
Yeah.
You don't right. Yeah.
I'll see you at
You don't
Tony
pay for
P's.
nothing. You just
Tony P's is where celebrities go and they've made it. The sports bar. You're welcome, Tony P's. We don't have sponsors. Come and get us. We'll hook you up. No, but for most people, They get here. They don't get a fantastic apartment. That definitely doesn't have a dishwasher. I didn't for 4 years.
Still don't.
Yeah, Will still doesn't have one. Washing dishes by hand is an art, my friend. But you got here, you had all that stuff, and not only did you have this wonderful living situation, you actually booked a role fairly quickly getting here.
Right, man. Like, right when I got into town, I think I wasn't working when I was traveling back and forth, but right when I got into town, I got a job. I got a Super Bowl commercial with Pepsi, it was kind of hilarious how I got it because I just remember it was a huge like cattle call type situation, like 500 people somewhere in Hollywood. And the casting director saw me, and she was like, hey, so over it, just over it. And she's just like, so why should I hire you for this, I wish I knew her name. Why should I hire you for this commercial? And I looked at her and I was like, I got a lot of energy. And she went, oh yeah. And I jumped up. In place, I jumped up and did like a 360 pirouette, landed in the same spot and did like a ta-da and was like, yeah,
Boom.
Nothing
signifies energy like a 360 pirouette.
Oh, that's all I had in the bag, man. I had nothing. I mean, I hadn't been to class. I hadn't been to anything. It was a cattle call. And it was 3 days of work. And I think it paid like $1,500. And it was like some Taft-Hartley situation, obviously, but that got me into the union. I think I'd been in town less than 3 months, and so it was like a super lucky.
Did you hear that? That was the sound of 1,000 middle fingers going straight up.
Oh no!
When they hear this,
we can talk about the starvation. No, we can.
Well, we're gonna get there.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But even people starve before they get their SAG card, and you got it.
Well, that's almost
jumping and doing a pirouette.
That's almost more cruel because I thought it was going to be like that every year. I thought it was going to be like that every month. And then I slowly, descended into madness and in North Hollywood, and which is not where you want to go crazy.
No. It'll make you go crazy already. You don't have to do anything.
Yeah. So yeah. But I mean, it was super lucky, and I've always had like really good people around me to help me, like my managers. Like I got the same managers when I came into town. Like she's like family. So yeah, I've always been really super, super lucky and I feel lucky. So,
but it's like you said, you booked that first Pepsi and you thought,
"Oh yeah,
this is easy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be so rich. I'm gonna move to Marina Del Rey very soon."
Oh, dude, I remember going to Seagal. What's
Steven Seagal?
No, what's the Fred Siegel? Oh, yeah. I remember going to Fred Siegel right after I booked that job and getting $500 Ray-Bans or something ridiculous. I put them on, had them less than 2 weeks. I sat on them and I was like, no worries.
I got that Pepsi money, dog.
You know how easy that was.
I got that.
Yeah. I was like, no problem. Like the stupidest things. I didn't save any money. And yeah, so it was not like that.
Mm-hmm.
But you have no frame of reference also to base it. Like you're just going in trial and error, and any experience you have, you assume, okay, that must be the way it is. Like you have no idea how lucky you are, or how how many times that doesn't happen until it doesn't happen.
It's that uncertainty that drives most people away from this industry.
Yeah.
But for you, it sucked
the
you
uncertainty
in.
came later. Yeah, it teased me. It gave me a kiss on the cheek and then walked away. It went to some other room and I had to go look. Yeah.
Hello, uncertainty. I swiped right on you.
Uncertainty, you're so nice to me. Where is you?
Uncertainty, can I take you to Tony P's?
Yeah, can I go to, I don't know, Fred Seagal and
Would you like
$800 shirt?
Ooh, don't sit there. So yeah, but you did have a bit of uncertainty because after you booked that, it took you a good 2 years till you're back on set again.
Sure, yeah.
And it looks like you actually got back on set in a pretty good one with a big celebrity.
Oh, who's that?
Bette Midler?
Oh, yes. Yeah. That was a fun job because it was like, I hadn't done live studio audience before. So like the rehearsal process, like the whole going in for a week and, eating good. I mean, you don't eat better than, those sets. Like, God, those guys are eating so good. And then also dealing with music. I remember, I didn't tell you, you know who worked on that show, who was like her choreographer? Tony Basil, man. Oh, Mickey, you're so fine, you blow. Don't make me feel old, damn it.
I love Tony Basil.
You are looking down and giving me no confirmation that you knew who that was.
Are you forgetting?
You're Googling her right now, and that's... I'm exposing this. What is this shit?
This is a podcast. Okay, people don't see what I'm doing.
Anyway,
they don't
Tony
know.
Basil was huge,
Tony Basil
man.
was born
like
in
one of the first videos of MTV, you know, like when there's music on. Anyway, I guess they were very good friends. And so there was a dance step that we had to do. I was playing a Rastafarian nationally because I had dreadlocks. And so like we had to do like this dance step and we had to sing and kind of harmonize this piece. So it was cool. I got to dance, I got to sing, I got to eat well, I got to, you know, I don't know, get yelled at or something. I don't know. And I got to hang out with some really cool guys, some really cool some musicians. So yeah, it was cool. It was good. It was good experience.
And you got to display your acting talent.
Well, oh yeah, I got to. That was where I was telling you. That's where I realized that if you do too much, it can be a bad thing. Mm-hmm. Like during the scene, I remember I chose to button it. I'm handing Kevin Dunn like this weed cake because he's looking in something to eat in a vending machine and he can't. It steals his change. I come around the corner like a magician. Hey, I'm a peer. I'm just, you know, and I'm like, hey man, I got a horrible Jamaican accent, right? And I'm just like, yeah, I got something else for you, man, or something like that, right? And I give him this weed brownie, and he's like, oh, this is okay, thanks, kid. Yeah, you know, he just eats it, and I buttoned it with like a laugh as I'm walking off frame. As I walk off frame, got a huge reaction from the studio audience. They loved it. They were cut. Okay, let's go back to one. Let's do it. Dave, you need to do it again. Just, you know, I don't know. Just do something different. Do it again. Laugh. Big response. And I'm like, yes, I'm doing it. The little tiny opportunity they give me, I'm crushing it. I'm adding, because like that's the best feelings. Like when you get to add a little something, like you get to add a little bit of yourself to like whatever it is that they want you to do. And so I'm feeling great. And that's it. Cut the laugh. And there's panic and there's like anger because, you know, you're wasting time, you're wasting money. And I was like, don't laugh. And they're like, you don't need it. Just like, you know, they didn't want me to get that laugh. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, you know, it's like the first time that you're like, oh, they don't want you to necessarily be good. You just got to be a cog in the, you kind of got to serve your purpose and get out of the way. And it's good that you can do that. But I guess when you're just first starting off, you want to know that you can do that. So like you kind of chase that feeling and you don't want to upstage anyone, but you do want to feel like you're worth something, you know.
Hey, kid, you got the goods. Now tone it down.
Yeah.
Turn it off. We need you to the stars over there. Not over here. Not over here. It's not over there. Over there.
What the hell was I thinking?
I don't know. You're trying to do your job.
Hey.
But that's good. I mean, you're on set, and must have led to more things because a year later, you showed up to one of the biggest sets in Hollywood.
Oh.
Ever. Until the next year. But that year, this is a big set. 2001's Fast and the Furious.
Yeah.
You got in there.
Yeah, that was scary. That was scary. We shot in San Bernardino, and it's really weird coming on a set, especially, I mean, you know, you've got like one scene, hopefully it stays in. These guys have been shooting for like, I assume months. You know, there's a camaraderie. It's just like that with any job too. Like everyone, they know who they're going to sit with at lunch.
But that's also, that's a huge director. Rob Cohen directed that.
Rob was the only reason I felt comfortable there because I had met Rob, the whole audition process.
Was it nerve-wracking in the audition?
Well, the audition was a risk. And the drive home was nerve-wracking because I was telling you, like when I went in for the audition, I was reading for Ja Rule's part, and it like I already kind of felt nervous because like it was totally against. I was playing a thug, and so I go in and I started talking to Rob. Rob directed the Bruce Lee story, and so we talked about Bruce Lee. We talked about martial arts. We were really relaxed and laughing and having fun, and then. He's like, okay, we're gonna start the scene, and so we're doing the scene, and he's like, hey, we're gonna improv too. Like after the scene, just stay in character. And oh, okay, cool. And he asked me some things like culturally, he was like, this is a predominantly Asian import kind of street sport. What makes you think that, you know, like how do you see yourself, your place in this thing? And I said something about respect, and you know, homie, it's all about respect on the streets, man.
That's improv.
Oh my God. And great, okay. And then he said to me, he asked me, you know, these parts, these import parts, it's just a lot of money for these car parts? Like, where do you get the money for this? And I automatically started to feel myself getting like trapped. Like, I'm going to start making shit up. It's going to be weird. I'm going to have to continually. So I cheated, and I just looked at him and I said, like, kind of like, what the you think I'm going to fucking tell you how I get my money on camera? You know, like I just flipped it. And I showed a little anger, I guess, or a little like, you know, disdain that he would think I would fall for that kind of thing. And I heard that the camera assistant, this younger girl in glasses, everyone was just so nice. And then like I flipped like that, and she gasped. She audibly gasped. And I was like, oh fuck. And then that was it. The audition was over. And I remember I was driving back and I was thinking to myself, like, yeah, I either fucked up completely, like I pissed someone off. I'm never working in this town again, or I did something really cool, like I took a chance, and I'd never done anything like that before. So yeah, I told you I went to for the weekend. I went to Phoenix. I came home, and there was a script at the door, so it worked out.
That's fantastic.
It was cool.
I feel like a lot of those risk situations, it's like the fight or flight, like the zebra runs or it fights, and it's
exactly.
Like when you're leaving an audition, if you have that feeling, it means
something happened.
Generally leads to something good versus something bad.
Yeah.
You were something different, something you hadn't seen yet. Yeah. Because you know everybody else tried to say something. I get these pots from Osaka, discount price.
I mean,
that's
you
where
could
I get
do that.
Shit.
You could do that, and you know, if you're like a master, I don't know, improviser or something, like you could do that and make it work.
Yeah, but what you said I thought was cooler than anything anybody else would have said.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's the easy way out. It's like Harrison Ford not wanting to do the sword fight because he's got the shits, so he just like shoots him, right? It's like, yeah. So
I did that in my wedding video. No big deal. I'll show it to you later.
Hey, that's on the same par. Harrison Ford, Indiana Jones.
What the fuck am I? I'm such an asshole. Yeah, like
excuse me. Harrison Ford is really good, but he's not Robbie D.
Oh, Robbie D.
And if he came on this show, I'd tell him to get out.
No.
Welcome him back in.
Back to one. Let's do this. Let's do it. Oh, sorry, I just peeked.
That's okay.
Let's get him the Imodium. Let's shoot this fuck. Hey,
Still peeking.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Fix it in post. Sorry.
No, we can't fix that.
But dude, the set is right. Oh, we got some people. We got some people in there. But it was. So I get to the set, and it's really, you know, it's nerve wracking. You don't know, like I said, you don't know who to sit with for lunch. So what? Diesel, Walker, Rodriguez, you know, like coming off of Girl Fight, good old Ja Rule, like,
why don't you sit with me over here?
Hey, that one song that he does with the "You're on my mind," I'm real. That's just my shit right there. I love that song.
Just saying.
But I was only supposed to shoot one day, and it was like 107 in San Bernardino. We shot at some like abandoned airport, you know, like for the drag strip, the race wars thing, and it was. I just remember being really hot. I was in the hotel room, and they kept shooting over schedule. So I would get another day, and that happened like 3 days in a row. So I was just like, that's awesome. Like, you know, hey, I'm not, please. Yeah. Ka-ching. Yeah. So, did the scene, and Rob didn't tell me a whole lot of stuff to do. He's just like, okay, they're going to drag you, you know, they're going to tow you. We're going like 35 miles an hour, and you're losing. I need a reaction that you lost. I need something in between when it's like, you know, and I didn't know what he wanted. He just said, it was basically just go. And that was it. I think he gave me a couple takes. He gave me a couple, some direction. Did it. Okay, moving on. And I was just like, oh, that's the worst. Especially like, I was young. That was the worst. To not be told that I did a good job or that I hit the mark, that I did what he wanted to do. I was insane. I think I was there one more day. I called my acting teacher like in tears. Like, I don't know what the fuck, man. Like, I don't know anything. I think I just fucked myself. You know, like, there's just the highs and lows were so extreme.
But eventually you wound up costing the movie $30,000.
Oh yeah. You want me to tell that one?
Absolutely.
Okay. So like during the scene, there's a part where so yeah, I'm improvising, right? I'm just like making shit up, pulling shit out of my ass. And there's a part where I'm racing against Rodriguez, and I do this like dun dun dun, another one bites the dust, da. Still feels uncomfortable.
It's good though. It's solid. I get it.
No, so go to the premiere. Premieres at Universal Studios. Great premiere, big premiere. Bill Paxton sitting behind me. I think Diesel and Walker are in the row right in front of me with Rob, and before we went in, one of the assistants, one of the crew came up to me and said, "Yeah, you know that little improv thing that you did, the Queen." And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, we had to call Brian May and buy the rights for $30,000." I'm like, "Oh fuck!" I wanted to run over to Rob and like apologize. Like, don't say a fucking thing to Rob.
That little improv moment worked though, didn't it?
I mean, I think it did its thing.
It might have kept you in the final cut.
It might have. They paid it. They thought it was worth it. They could have cut it out
and save 30,000.
Yeah, it's more than I was making that year.
It was a good moment.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a fun time.
It's funny because I've seen that movie 1,000 times. I bet you there's tons of listeners who have seen that so many times, but they didn't notice that. Bah, bah, bah. Another one buys $30K in the bank.
Oh, it's so easy. It's so easy to spend money. It's just so easy.
If you want to make a movie, it's like there's $30K.
That's $30K, man. Like, yeah, I learned something, I think, from that. But I don't know. Yeah, it was a moment. You got to fill it up with something. So
yeah, and then
they had to pay.
The day came though. You had to cut the dreads.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
That was weird because I was living in North Hollywood and it was fucking hot.
That's it.
No, it was. You know what? It was hot. It's a lot to maintain. I got a lot of hair when I grow the shit out. It was a lot to maintain, and it was just.
I thought you didn't have to do anything to it. You just let it grow and it's dirty.
You gotta wash it. You gotta separate it because like it'll all grow in one.
101. Everyone thinks it's easy.
Truly.
I feel like it would be.
It will grow into one lock if you let it. You'll just have a one beanstalk ass lock. So you have to like rip to the scalp, like you have to separate, retwist. It's like constant maintenance, and it's heavy. It's I don't know. It's just a lot. It's got a lot of stuff going on. So
you're not going back to dreads, is what you're telling me.
Probably not this time around. No,
not this late in the game.
Not this late in the game either. No, I'm all about. No, I don't need that. I don't need to do that. But I was really nervous because I was like, will I work again? Or, like, will I? I was kind of used to this look. I was kind of used to being in this like pigeonholed kind of early 20s, mid 20s. I'll be the guy that gives them weed. I'll be the guy that's at the party, I don't know, looking like kind of like a Hawaiian shirt, kind of doobie, smoking, whatever. And I couldn't get any other parts. The only other part I got, I think, was on The District. Craig T. and Lynn Thigpen, R.I.P. Craig T. Nelson is awesome. It might not be on my IMDb.
It is.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't have to look. I knew it. You played Alex Poland.
I played a computer tech. Like that was the first time I had glasses. First time I had ever played anything that wasn't connected to marijuana. So I was like, oh man,
you can buy weed on the internet.
I was like, back then, I don't know if you could back then. But.
The first sale was.
Yeah.
It always comes back. It's like Kevin Bacon. It comes back to weed somehow.
First online sale was marijuana.
Was it really?
IT students when they were first building the internet.
See, those motherfuckers are smart.
They also dripped coffee as their first video, but that's neither here nor there. You met Craig T. Nelson, thought he was cool.
Craig, yeah. So like I remember us improvising and just getting a big hug from that guy. He was cool. But I shaved my head off, and I was like, I don't know if I'll work.
Shaved your head off?
I shaved my whole head off.
You just got rid of your head. Got a new head.
Yeah, I shaved the whole head off, and I was like, I wonder if I'll work again, or I wonder if I'll work as much, or what.
And boy, howdy did you!
It worked out.
We got The Last Ride, even an ER appearance.
You know who was in The Last Ride? The Last Ride was basically
of course I know. Rob Cohen directed that.
I think he produced it.
Oh, he wrote it.
Guy Norman B directed that. Guy was cool.
Yeah, you had Dennis Hopper in there.
I got to fucking act with the Hopper.
The Hop?
The Hop, man. Cool dude. Cool dude. We got to improv. He was smoking a cigar. He goes like this. Like I was playing like a dickhead. And he was like, it was basically a big commercial for the GTO, the new GTO that was coming out. We shot it in San Diego 2 weeks. Chris McCormack was great. And he has the cigar, and I just remember him. I said some asshole line to him, because I'm a dick, and then I ended up getting shot. And he said something back that was so cool. I wish I remembered it, but I remembered what he said after it. He looked at me with the cigar, and he took it out of his mouth, and he said, "And that's what I think about you." That guy was a class act, man. That guy was so cool.
That's why he's been doing it for so long and will continue to do it even longer. ER, you with Tia Mowry.
Yeah, I got shot. And I was on the gurney, pleading to the Almighty and crying, and she's like calming me down. I really don't remember much about that. I think we shot it at night, and most of the time I was just kind of like working on being in pain. So I was just like, everything was blocked out. I was just sweating.
Did you do anything method? Did you actually like stab your leg while you're doing your scenes or anything?
Man, if I stabbed my leg, I wouldn't be acting. I'd be like in pain.
Yeah, but you're in pain in the scene.
No, I was recreating pain, but I wasn't like actually like if you're on cocaine, you don't actually do cocaine. You like create the feeling of being on cocaine, I think.
Yeah, but how do you do it without actually doing it?
Well, there's exercises, and I don't know. Rub your lucky magic, your rabbit's foot, I guess.
I feel like you just drink like 6 Red Bulls and then do the scene.
I think it's at least 6.
You got a whiz?
I'm good.
I got news for you. The show doesn't stop. The show doesn't stop.
That's awesome.
So if you go to the bathroom, I will follow you with the microphone.
Yeah, that's the best. Has anyone done that yet?
We're about to.
That's good.
Sounds like.
That's good.
Bathroom break, bathroom break. Go ahead and take the bathroom break. Well, no, it ain't a commercial, 'cause we don't have a sponsor yet. So go ahead and take that luxurious bathroom break.
And then comes 2008.
The year of shit, as I like to remember it. That's a Chinese New Year slogan. The year of shit. The year of shit.
2008. Why is 2008 such a shit year?
I just remember there was no work going around. I mean, obviously the whole everything went to shit. The economy went to shit. But I remember, I mean, it's kind of hazy, but there were some strikes around that time, maybe the first like really strike, because there was like, I feel like there was like fucking 12 strikes between then and now. But now we kind of got our act together for a little while anyway. But there was if it wasn't a strike that wasn't around that time, there just definitely wasn't a whole lot of work. And that was, I think, around the time when I could be wrong, when the Dell guy got in trouble because he went to work. Now that was during a strike. Do you know what I'm talking about? So if you're not FICOR, if you're not able to work union or non-union, you're a dues-paying non-member, like you can't work if there's a strike. But so we had to contend with strikes around that time, but also just the whole fact that the economy was shit, and I just remember there was no fucking work. So I ended up having to, not that long, but it was like 3 to 4 months. I did, I sold extended car warranties down the street over here on good old Lancashire. Not here, because we're on the west side, but down the street from my apartment. And I was horrible at it. And no, because you're fucking talking to people for like 40 minutes, and then you realize that, like, they're good folks, but they're like 80-something, and they don't have a checking account. Like when you give them the whole thing, oh, that sounds great. That sounds wonderful. Yeah, oh, well, we could do that. Well, I guess you're right. Like, all right, ma'am, like now it's, comes time to check the routing number, something. Oh no, we don't have an account. No. So what the fuck do you do? So, but that was my livelihood. That was how I paid for groceries and gas and shit. So I just remember 2008. I was for the one time. Look, man, I'm not complaining. I've been very lucky to just starve if I didn't have work, but also just work. But that 2008 was like, I would say that was the closest I came to going home. That was the closest I came to find going somewhere else. Mm-hmm. But I didn't.
And now I bring you the 8:05 James Lipton break into movies moment. It came as no surprise. 2009
oh my God, this James
would be an unforgettable year.
If I close my eyes, it's like
2009, you, David Douglas, put on your big boy pants.
It's so creepy. It's so real.
And you booked a role in a movie starring...
I could see his beard.
Big celebrities. directed by a huge director.
He is that clipped. He's like really clipped when he talks.
Mick G directed this movie.
Good old McG. Good
The
dude.
actors surrounding you in this movie were none other than Christian Bale, Sam Worthington,
Oh yeah, Sam.
Helena Bonham Gardner, Bryce Dallas Howard,
He's an
and
angel.
Common, to name a few.
Lawrence. When you shake his hand, he says Lawrence.
Lawrence
Or he did
Common.
back then. He was like, I'm not Common. I'm Lawrence, motherfucker. I was like, oh.
I'm talking
sir.
about your role in
All
none
respect
other
to
than Terminator Salvation.
Yeah. So that's a great build-up.
This has been the 805 James Lipton break into movies moment.
Yeah, I got cut out of it.
Ding! Well, you got a credit for it.
Oh, they still give you the credit. They still pay you for the whatever they wanted. Anyway, long story short, I found out they ended up giving my part to someone else. I think it's still in the movie. They ended up giving my part to someone else, and they basically made me an extra. I put on some boots, and I'm holding a gun, and now I'm a soldier. And like the cherry on top was take 4, shooting at night. Oh, and that was when Bale had the blow up. That was the set that Bale had the famous blow up.
Yeah.
The guy
lighting director.
lighting the gaff, whatever.
We'll go ahead and play that clip real quick.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Hannah.
Yeah, he lost it. But you know what? When that happened, I honestly didn't. I was in the emergency room. Okay, here's what happened. So I take four. I rolled an ankle and went down on the tarmac. And dude, honestly, I thought I broke my fucking.
But they gave your role to somebody else. So this is a different role.
Yeah, this is just a guy with a gun. This is a guy with a gun.
So you went from
guy with a gun running.
you went from a name, a build, a credit
Technician,
name.
tech. I went from tech 1. I think he was 1.
No, it's technician. I remember.
Yeah, it was technician.
Went from
I
technician
tried to sugar
to guy with gun.
Yeah.
The technician.
Hey, I got to work, I guess. I get to do something for, hey. So, yeah. So anyway, on like the second, on the few takes down the line, I rolled an ankle. I went down. They took me to the emergency room. And in the emergency room, a guy that was on set, like, turned to me. I don't know why he was there. I just remember him turning to me and saying, "Did you hear what happened? Did you hear what happened?" I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Oh, fucking Bale lost it." And I was like, "You know what? That makes sense, man. Like it makes perfect sense." And I don't blame him. I didn't blame him then. I don't blame him now. There was such a lack of communication on that set. It was like, I mean, it was monsoon season. It was like there was rain. There was fucking mud everywhere. People were like not communicating. You're way out in New Mexico. So I could see like the tension, the tempers being on high alert, So yeah.
And then you book a big commercial directed by Spike Lee.
Yeah. That was I owe that to the lovely queens of Los Angeles, Justine and Kim Davis Badley, who were responsible for me being. I got the job. Never Been Kissed. I was cast with them. They introduced me to Spike Jones, who was doing this commercial that was, I guess, kind of like a dreamy, almost like Michael Gondry kind of a thing. And it was cool. It was like a lot of body work. They knew I could be physical. I came into the audition and it was like, imagine running. You're running, and imagine a bear chasing you, and there was a part toward the end of the commercial where I'm chased by a bear. Like, that was for real. That shit really happened. Like, they had a bear chasing me downtown, and I had to run as the bear's chasing me. Very highly trained bear. This bear was amazing.
A real bear.
A real bear in real life.
LA.
A bear out of his element. A bear. Big brown fucking bear that smelled like a bear. And it's like roar, and I'm running, and I had to dive through a fake fence. The fence explodes before I dive through it because it explodes. I do a M. Bison. You ever play Street Fighter? Mm-hmm. I do like a flying move, horizontal, go through the fence. The bear still. Shit! He went through the fence. It was a dreamscape thing. So everything was like, it's called Adidas Hello Tomorrow.
What did the
pulled my hamstring on that. But here's
ding,
the fucking,
reoccurring theme on the hamstring?
Reoccurring injury.
but
two
here's
hamstring
the fucked
pulls.
up thing. Here's the thing that kind of like blew your mind. If the bear didn't cooperate, they had a lion in a cage right off set in case the bear wasn't cooperating. So that was like how big. That was how big that production was. It was kind of overwhelming and beautiful. And Spike was amazing. He jumped on trampolines and was like totally low key cool. That dude is a pleasure to work with. And I owe it all to Kim and Justine.
What did the bear smell like?
Oh, Jesus, smelled like a fucking bear, man.
I don't know what that means.
You ever been around a bear?
No.
No? They smell like shit.
And I'm actually kind of
No,
okay
it smells
with
like
that.
bear pheromones and shit and or maybe that was my shit. I don't know. It was
Obviously, I'm familiar with the scent.
There you go.
As a grown
it smelled like a bear.
outdoor man. But what does a bear pheromone smell like, just for the viewers at home?
Oh, like anxiety?
I know that smell very
Yeah.
well, and say nothing more.
I'd say just like anxiety. But the bear was great. And it was really
Me and the
wonderful.
bear still text. We keep in touch. He's doing a movie.
He's
he
doing.
did Dr. Dolittle 1 and 2.
He's actually found much more success than me.
I think he's working on Westworld or something.
The bear's a booking machine.
The bear's a booker. The bear's a booking machine.
That's
man.
awesome. All right, David. I want to go deeper now.
All right.
2012, you booked a TV show.
Yeah.
It makes you emotional.
What was that?
Two Broke Girls.
I mean, I don't know. It's emotional. It's just, look, man, it's a fine show. I'm happy for work regardless, right? Like it's. Let me tell you something, man. We all know how lucky we are, to be just here in this industry, being able to work at it from time to time, and what normal jobs are for us. We basically get paid to look for work because playing is just fun. Playing is really just fun. And you get to meet a lot of the most creative, generous people in town. It's wonderful. And if you can make a living like that, you're lucky. You're blessed. You're whatever you want to call it. But sometimes
That's wonderful, but I agree with all that.
sometimes, right? No, I mean that's the truth, right? But sometimes being in the industry, I don't know. I like to be very aware of like, okay, what jobs are available, what jobs are there that will allow you to do your own thing, and what kind of jobs are they? Like, what kind of characters are they, right? And I noticed with this one show, but what I saw was a lot of, and I got to meet Garrett Morris, comedy legend, man.
But
Jennifer.
but
I never understood. Let me just say, I never understood why it seemed like the ethnic characters of a show. Remember Happy Days?
yes,
Okay, you had Arnold. I mean, Arnold, I think he was from L.A. You know what I mean? But he was he was wonderful in that role. But why did he always have to dial it up? The ethnic characters on that show always got to do some over the top shit, and it's like the show is what it is. I mean, it's sitcom but like I just for a second I had to step back and be like, wow, like the only people who are allowed to be normal, talking regular people were like the two girls. And I was like, oh, okay.
just like when they told you not to laugh. Don't make the audience laugh.
Laugh harder, and if you can, slap your knee and do a cartwheel. But
That'd be tough.
Talk about how jive everything.
jive that shit up, baby.
you might-
Like, you know what I mean? Can you give
might.
us put a little more spice on it? What the fuck does that mean? No, I never. But I'm just, hey, we're all in the same industry. We see it.
So I'm going to chalk that up as a negative experience.
No, it wasn't a negative experience. It was just an observation. The job was fine.
Yeah.
The job was fine. It was probably a week of rehearsal, and then you shoot it, and then you go home and you do your curtain call, and then you go home.
In the same year, you booked a newsroom.
Yeah, the newsroom was great. Cable's great. Got to meet Aaron Sorkin. He was a very nice man. Got to work with or next to David Harbour.
You got in the tied spots now.
Yeah, those spots are funny.
And let's jump forward a few years. You jumped on Ray Donovan.
Yeah. They brought me back, man. They brought me back into the weed culture. I was playing a bud tender without the dreadlocks, but yeah, it was cool. I got to work with Voight. Mr. Voight was amazing to work with him. You know, it's like that same kind of feeling like when you're working with Mr. Hopper. You're just like you're kind of talking to Hollywood royalty, I guess. I don't know. Like you're talking to an OG. Mm-hmm. You're talking to someone who knows the game in and out. He's been
someone
there.
Who knows how to jive it up.
He's the best.
No, brace yourselves, because we're going to get into one of my favorite shows.
Oh, man.
A show that I would...
It's Always Sunny, isn't it?
Well, there goes my big...
Oh, shit. Wait.
That's okay. Yes, It's Always Sunny. You were in there. You got to meet a lot of my favorite actors there.
First of all, that show, there's not a lot... I don't watch a whole bunch of TV, but that show is so good. Every episode I watch, we were talking about it.
Greatest show ever made. Producer Will says it again. Nothing.
Producer Will can back me up here. It's the writing doesn't get weak, ever. It's what 14 seasons they're shooting now.
Confirmed for 14. They've done 12.
They've done 12 so far. So I mean, do you know how hard that is? It's a beautiful jewel of a show, and it seemed like they really did it on their own terms, which is kind of like makes it even more that much more special. So anyway, I got to drive to San Pedro and shot for a day. I got to meet Charlie and do the scene with Dennis, who's amazing. I mean, just they're all funny. Everyone on that show, connected to that show, is funny. But it was kind of nice to do the scene with Dennis. Yeah, what else were you gonna ask me?
Oh no, I
got cut out of that one.
Bing, that's cut out. So you filmed the whole thing and got cut out.
Yeah.
Did I miss any of the other ones you get cut out of? No, all these other ones you're good so far. That's a ding though. Cut out of that one.
Yeah, but it was almost like it was okay because because I was just happy. I mean, I sound so cliche and bullshit and whatever, but I was just so happy to work on that set, and I shook their hand afterward, and I had to go up to them and just say like, guys, it kind of means a lot to me because I'm a fan, you know. And then I ran into Charlie at a Griffith Park one day randomly. I was riding my bike and they were shooting probably like season 13 or something, and I was like, the gang missed the boat, man. And he was like, hey man, like he was on the cell phone. Hey, came over and talked to me and my friend for about 5 minutes, and he was like, we cut you out, didn't we? And I was like, yeah, man, but it's cool. Like it probably didn't work or whatever, but it was fine. It was cool just being there. So we caught up.
That's fantastic.
Me and my buddy
But that
Charlie.
just shows what kind of guys they are. They gave you a hug when you left set, and then Charlie actually remembers you and says hi to you.
That was cool.
In a normal surrounding, which
totally cool. Yeah.
you would think would be the common protocol, but it's not.
No, yeah, but people have lives.
No,
People have lives.
Understandable.
You know.
Now let's get to one of my other favorite shows you were on.
Oh, is that no? I'm just
Gonna ruin this one too.
Oh, you're talking about
A show so fantastic in a world where it's Andrew Tribeca.
Oh yeah.
It's not a crazy popular show, but
yeah, I knew nothing about that show. Like I said, I don't really watch too much TV, but you said the perfect thing because you were like, yeah, it's in it because I was like, I wanted to say wacky, zany, but you were like, yeah, it's like Naked Gun. It's like it's
with
like
a female lead,
right? With a female lead, it's very wacky and kind of, and I was like, it's perfect. It's like the Naked Gun where it's kind of absurd and yeah.
Coming from someone who can write the script for all 3 Naked Gun movies from memory. Well, 1, 2.5, and 33 1/3 if you want to go that route. But they're all fantastic.
What's this move? You know this move right here?
Hey, 3!
It's Enrico Palazzo.
Hey, that's Enrico Palazzo. Yes, fantastic. The first one's fantastic.
Yeah.
Although it's shot at Dodger Stadium, but it's supposed to be for the Angels. I mean, that's kind of crazy.
That's
I know.
true. Yeah.
When I first moved to LA, I went to that stadium and stood there, and I was like, hey, this is where...
Enrico Palazzo?
No, not Enrico Palazzo. Where... Ricardo Montalban falls over at the end, and he falls over the rail. Oh God, my father went the same way. Like that scene when he falls over right there. That is, I went and stood there and I texted my brother.
The OG. What's the first thing I ever saw him on? Because I mean, of course, Fantasy Island. Watching reruns, Grandma's House, but The Wrath of Khan. God, how good was he in that?
He's great.
Montalban. Do you remember? No, he was amazing. That was like
I like Naked Gun, not Ricardo Montalban.
So back to Naked Gun. He was.
I didn't follow the works of Ricardo Montalban.
I'm sorry, I'm dredging up a lot of old.
I love your nerd knowledge.
Man, The Wrath of Khan, baby.
Khan's probably the best.
Oh my
Star Trek
God,
movie.
Walter,
Here.
Chekhov.
Let's have one of the Wrath of Khan.
Right, here's to him. It's not here anymore. You know what I mean? He left us some gifts. But with the earwig scene,
Once again.
Chekhov getting the earwig scene. You remember? Paul. God, what was the actor? He's not here anymore. Paul Winfield and Walter. Jeez, man.
Walter Sobchak.
No, not Lebowski. Walter was the first name of the. God, that's horrible. Chekhov. But anyway, Paul Winfield, Sounder. Paul Winfield was around forever. He's not here anymore. But anyway, the earwig scene when the Khan puts the earwig to control their brain, kind of gruesome.
Kind of gruesome.
Did you know that Chekhov, his son? Do you remember Growing Pains?
Walter Koenig.
Walter Koenig, man.
I needed to look it up because I was thinking I couldn't remember.
Guys, I'm gonna blow your mind. Do you remember Boner from Growing Pains?
Yes.
That's Walter Koenig's kid.
I mean, I believe you. But I
Yeah.
need to look it up.
That's a little dark, but it didn't end well. But
I can't believe there's a character on TV in the 80s named Boner, and that was okay.
it was all right. Yeah, well, because it was like Vince the Bone or something. Like, yeah,
Still.
it's like no, I get it.
I mean,
Andrew Koenig.
Yeah,
although surprisingly, I feel like we went in the loop.
It didn't end well.
It's weird it was a Boner in the 80s, and now a character named Boner on any today's shows would be pretty standard
Well,
practice.
today they call him Hard On, and it would be on FX, and it would be an amazing show.
Yeah. Do you get an audition day? I did. What'd you read for? Hard On?
Some kind of me too.
That's crazy. A couple of hard-ons here.
Couple of Hard-Ons.
All right. So on the set of Andy Tribeca, though, you had a pretty cool run-in with one of the stars.
Right, man. So yeah, and this kind of goes. There's kind of like a running theme of like when you're on a set and you're a day player, like you definitely deal with a sense of not knowing who you eat lunch with, to put it, I don't know, romantically. Everyone has a camaraderie. It's already a family. It's a unit. And when you come on, you do your best to be cordial and introduce yourself, do your job, get the hell out of the way. Don't distract anyone from what they're doing. And it can be a little overwhelming. You have to. It's almost you kind of feel like a butler. Like you're in the room, but the room's like emptier, even though you're in it. You want to be out of the way. The people aren't going to necessarily give you a whole lot of time because they're working. The gaffer's got to gaff. The people got to do their thing, and people aren't necessarily checking in with you. If you need to get someone's attention, hey, where's the bathroom? Or hey, where's craft service so I can just grab a little something to water or something, whatever. You kind of gotta fish for that sometimes because sets can be kind of fast and hectic and not really paying a whole lot of fucking attention to you because you're just there for a day or two. So I was in the margin. People are doing their thing, rehearsing a scene or whatever, and I'm just waiting to hear the cue so I can just jump in and say my line and get out. And I was playing Alfred Molina's assistant. And if there's anybody, like I was saying earlier, if there's anybody who has fucking actors credit, it's this guy. I mean, he's been around forever. Or he's the Indiana Jones.
He's doing the Johnny Manziel finger money thing. Just so the audience knows what he's doing.
Give me the, what did he say? Pass me the, I forget the fucking
Pass
line.
me the idol.
Pass me the, and he's huge. This guy is just huge. He's like larger than life, and he's cracking jokes. Everyone's kind of quiet or on their phones or just kind of preoccupied. He's cracking jokes. It's kind of a zany show, and he's just talking a bunch of shit and laughing and carefree, and he's trying to keep it light and keep people like having fun and relaxed, and I appreciate that as it is. But I'm in a room by myself waiting to come in and whatever, and I'm just kind of sitting in a chair, and he's laughing, ha ha ha, and he walks in and it's just me in this room, and he sees me, and he sits down like blam, like kablump, like just all this weight, and he takes a deep breath in and he looks at me and he goes, "You know what, mate? It's not a big part, but it's really fucking funny." And he didn't have to do that. Like he didn't have to say shit to me. No one else was. He took the time. He took the time to like tune in, and he was paying attention, and he let me know he saw me. That is so huge for us. Like, we're not names. We're just people like at the front lines making a living, trying to.
You're the lesser knowns.
Right. You know, and so it's important to get that because a lot of times even getting the job is like you're being thrown into like open water where things are happening, but there's nothing to hold on to. So like to have the star, or at least the guest star, who in my mind is a great actor, do that, it really lets you see like the great ones, like what they're paying attention to and how they behave on set. And I appreciated that very much. All right, I officially have to piss again.
Oh, do we?
Another bathroom break, another bathroom break. Go ahead, enjoy another bathroom break. No, it ain't a commercial, 'cause we still don't have a sponsor yet. So go ahead and take another bathroom break.
And we're back.
Yeah.
David.
Let's get into it.
David.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you about something very serious.
Oh, man.
You booked an appearance on SWAT.
Yeah, that was cool. That was I was playing a pawn shop, owner of a pawn shop, and I looked cool. I had gold rings on. They put me in some funky like 80s looking kind of garb. I looked cool, man. And yeah, I got to do the scene with good old Shamar Moore. It was super nice, man. Someone recognized him on the street, just walking down in the street, and saw him and flipped out, and he took a picture with them right then and there. Everyone stopped and took a second. The whole production stopped. And I got to hold a shotgun, like a real deal, like 20 pounds. It was heavy anyway. I don't know. I'm not a gun guy. Whatever. Sorry.
But you know what 20 pounds feels like.
I mean, it felt heavy. It was at least 29 pounds.
Shooting diamonds at these.
I mean, it was like made of titanium. No, I don't know. Maybe it was a prop, but it felt heavy. Anyway, like I have to chase these three guys out of the shop, and the thing is, the director was like, "Okay, great, we got that. We got your scene. Looked great. You know, you got through it, and I need you to run down the street like full sprint. You're gonna run down to the end of this block. Then you're gonna go around the corner, and then run south a block." And I pulled the shit out of my hamstring. Bing. So my hamstrings aren't really ready.
That's 3 hamstring pulls on set.
Man, I do it all the time, but this one was stupid. I didn't warm up. I didn't know I was going to be doing this. I thought I was just doing a scene. This wasn't in anyway. Whatever. I didn't realize it was happening. So yeah. So I went down hard. They end up. I think I slid, dropped the gun. I slid. I couldn't get up. It felt like someone threw a wadded up pieces of paper at the back of my leg. Like I felt it go like blip. Like it was gross. It sucked. Took me to emergency. That was a nightmare. It's like drunk people throwing up everywhere in the West Valley. And but it was cool, like because I got to film a little bit more after I'd fucked myself up. So like it made me look good because I was like, yeah, no, let's do it. We're fine. I'm fine. Let's go. Let's shoot it. Let's go. And I got to shoot a little bit more, and they kept everything. And yeah, and I got to act with Shamar Moore and grit my teeth through it, and it was a good day. At the end of the day, it was great. It was a good day. So
nice.
That happened.
Jonathan Nolan's Westworld.
Man.
Westworld.
That was another week. Anthony,
Fantastic HBO show.
God, yeah.
It's fantastic.
It was a great week. The set was huge. We shot over in Melody Ranch in Newall, I think, Santa Clarita area. And I was playing a tech. And
That's another ding. How many technicians have you been in movies?
Oh, that's definitely,
Ding.
like, 2 or 3.
3 or 4 technicians.
Something like that. Those bodies were scary real. Scary real. Like, man, I'm the whole time I just remember poking the arm of this body I'm carrying. And it's like the fucking hairs on this latex dummy were random. Like, it looked like a human arm, and then you press it and you're like, oh, that's just a thing. But it was really fucking with my mind.
That's someone's job to like randomly put the hairs in the forearm.
It was it's so true. Like, randomly.
Just so people get it, Westworld's a show about a theme park made out of animatronic humans.
So I'm on set. First day was super easy. But the only thing that kind of took me by surprise was we walk in and it was like these large glass rooms on the set, and there's robots being calibrated by a technician. So I walked in and everyone was wearing these white robes. It was like white robes, and they said, "Okay, back to one, ready and disrobe and action." And when he said disrobe, literally like 40 people dropped the robe and they're butt ass totally naked. And I don't know what no one told me anything. It was just a lot of nudity to handle all. I was like, whoa. There we are. And that was all day. But you really go out of your way to not look at anything. It's like it's like that's the uncomfortable thing you go out of your way to not look at anything.
It's like seeing a naked person in the gym.
That's
You're
it.
not trying
Right.
to look at that.
No, you're trying to really be focused on things that don't take that much focus. Like I'm just trying to zip up button my shirt, but I need to look at every button and nod to myself and bring my head up and look straight ahead and hello, good, thank you. Where's the bathroom?
I'm looking directly at your eyeballs and nowhere else.
That's it. Right on the nose. Like it's like but there was a lot of nudity, and man, I gave a lot of respect to the extras on that show that were playing robots, because literally a shot, a take was, I forget her name. I met her. She's one of the leads. She was playing. She was a tech. She was great. The scene was her dealing with this robot. And they had it was everybody, man. It was like the grandpa was there, the 24-year-old young lady was there with a 6 foot, 0 body fat black model was there. There was like every type of individual was there. It was incredible. And like the scene is her recalibrating these robots, and the dude literally has to sit up from the dentist chair, walk 10 steps, pour a glass of water. It spills, oh shit, and the whole time the camera is right on his shit, right on, and I'm like, that they checked that box. That's will do. I mean, how brave is that? That's like That's comfortable level. Well, I don't even know what level that is. It's a high level.
If I had 0% body fat, I don't think I would mind having my clothes off either.
Yeah, but even like with my first girlfriend, it was like just a year and a half before I was like, listen, I'll walk. Right.
Well, you know what? You know what? The world is now your girlfriend, and she's looking right at your shit, looking right at your junk. There's no secrets anymore, gentlemen.
The world is now a red Alexa.
What a gig, though.
Yeah.
Like what a. Yeah, I basically I'm a tech, and I'm bringing her online. The snake woman, and
she was lovely.
Oh, she was great. We were just cracking up. We were telling jokes in between takes, and what do you want to know?
She bites your finger off.
She definitely bites my finger off. It was kind of like some horror. Bit my finger off, and then she came up with the idea of, oh, I know what we could do, and decided to feed it back to me at the end of the scene. I don't know if that's in that part is in. But I think so. I don't know. But no. I
don't think it is.
I'm not sure. But it was. My wife says it
was. Oh.
It is.
Oh.
So So yeah.
We're getting a confirmation. We're getting a hard confirmation. She's giving a thumbs up. It's a
Thumbs
yes.
up. That's a yes. So yeah. It was great. And then the cool part. This is a lesser known moment. Jonah says, who was also the showrunner. Him and his wife are the showrunner. He was directing the second episode I was in. Comes up to me and goes. This is after she throws me against the wall and all this stuff, blood everywhere from my finger. Okay. And he says, she just bites your finger off, right? And I'm like, yeah, she just bites my finger off. She's like, well, he's like, the thing is the humans are getting killed because they're like bad people. Like it's like a comeuppance. It's like, but you actually tried to stop something because you remember earlier, my tech my partner who works with me in the lab, he like Sodom or tries to like do something sexual with Rodrigo Santoro's android character. And I'm like, man, cut that shit out, blah, blah, blah. So he's like, you don't really deserve to die. Like he was kind of like, I don't know if you're dead yet, Dave. And I'm like, oh, what? Seriously? I'm like, do you need me to wiggle around at the end as you pan up from I can like, move like, yeah, I'm still, I've still got some brain activity. So he was like, I'm not going to tell you what they said, but I don't know if you're dead yet. And I was like, sounds great to me.
I got 9 more fingers, bruh.
Yeah. Well, let me come back with a bionic finger. That's what I say.
Wife would be happy.
Oh God, yeah. I don't trust them anymore. And just let me do like a, whatever, man. But I don't think that's gonna happen. But it was great to work with him. He was another guy. He was just super cool. And the level of professionalism on that set is like, you don't see that. You don't see that a lot. It was just so much. To be honest, so much money involved. I think. They told me. I think the budget was like. The budget was like 15 mil an episode, or something. It was more than Game of Thrones.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's
what I was.
That's way bigger than Game of Thrones, which I thought had the previous record. But
Yeah,
really,
it did.
Westworld set in it.
Yeah, I think it's Westworld now because I remember them telling me it was something like that per episode, which is it showed. It definitely showed. Yeah.
And then came the day where we would finally meet. We would meet, and we would become best friends.
I love this guy.
I love you, sir.
We got to look out in the ocean in between takes.
We did.
Talk about life.
Talking about the grandest 2018 Toyota Camry commercial we booked together.
Did you know they were going to use the Queen song?
I did not.
That was a cool touch.
Fantastic touch.
Can I tell you? Oh, man. Can I tell? Okay, so before I got my first day on set, on set, my wife and I decided to visit my parents. They live in Rockland, which is like 20 minutes outside Sacramento, right? It's like 5.5 hours away. So my brother was coming in town from Salem, and him and his wife and some of his childhood friends were all gonna have dinner at my parents' place. He brought lobsters with him. So it was like a big night, right? We get in town, we left at like noon. We get into their place around 5:30. We catch up, we have some drinks. We eat lobsters. We're full as shit off lobster. And I get an email at like 7:30 telling me I have like a 5 a.m. call time. And no one expected that. Mm-hmm. I never did that before. We drove there 5.5 and then drove back. And that was hard. That wasn't safe.
Turned out to be worth it, though.
Got there the next morning. Well, I think woke up, slept 2 hours. You know what I mean? Like just cause nerves and whatever. Woke up at like 3 in. It was downtown, so that was cool because we're in Echo Park, so it was like right next door. And then Annie Morgan,
And the girl you smacked in the commercial.
No, she smacked me.
You in the commercial.
So I'm like on 2 hours sleep. I feel like shit. And Martin, it's the first day. She has to smack me. I'm late to the dinner or lunch or brunch or whatever, and so she has to slap me. And I was like, okay, he wanted me to slap. I said to her, I don't want to do this all afternoon. I was like, just fucking nail me, like hit me like you're trying to hurt me. Just let's do it once. Let's do it right. Let's do it once. She's like, okay. I guess she'd never slapped anyone. I don't know. She take one, dude, hauls off and palm strikes the shit out of my jaw. Like, she wasn't even using like the fleshy part. She wasn't using like fingers. She palm heel strike me. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, am I bleeding in my brain? I felt horrible. I was like, I don't know if I can do this for 6
Take
hours.
it back. Let's do it all afternoon. Why don't you just air swing?
I was like, whoa. Martin was like, okay, maybe this time don't hit him. Maybe this time no hit. Maybe just like you're upset. I had those
I don't
horrible.
think in the final cut she's not smacking you, right?
No, in the final cut, I'm like, whew, I'm here, and I've got this look on my face like, ouch, or hey, and then I just give her like a peck, and that's the take they used, yeah. So yeah,
So all that.
shit. Dude, my ears were ringing. I was like, that was a good hit. She clocked the shit out of me.
She got you real good, then you pulled the hamstring. Falling over.
I didn't pull a hamstring that job.
Oh,
Thank God.
Never mind.
Thank God.
Ding. They did a pretty cool special effect though. They put us into a.
What was that?
They put us into a Yukon.
Yeah.
With 415 subwoofers. They pointed us in the passenger seat towards the driver window. They took the passenger seat out.
Gave us earplugs.
Pointed us towards the driver window, put a green screen behind us, added a fake steering wheel to center console, put us earplugs you couldn't see him, and then turned it up as loud as their stereo go, and that's those 415s, and then back
slowed it down.
shook us. Yeah,
it shook us. Like you could feel it like in your colon. It was shaking the shit out of you. You could feel it like in the center of your center chakra.
I remember Martin walked up to me and he goes, oh, okay, these, you know what? Just don't do anything.
Right.
He goes, react natural.
React. Everything had to be supernatural.
And I was like, okay. So then I just held onto the steering wheel, and then they started basing that music, and it was just like,
but you killed it. Yeah, but everyone on set were losing their shit over your reactions.
Yeah.
I remember everyone was laughing so much. I could see that making you sick if you endured that.
We had the earplugs, which I still think they didn't do anything.
What time did you get
The earplugs.
What?
The earplugs, they do nothing.
They do nothing. Are you afraid of the car? Are you afraid of the car? It seems like you're afraid. No, right there. See, okay. No, don't do anything. I had such a blast. And, yeah. And what else can you say about that, right?
And just keep running. That's what you
Just
say.
keep running.
Just keep running. It's 2018
Sell
Camry,
more
so
of
till
them.
2018.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about the time you met the Gaz. I'm not talking about the Gaz. You know who I'm talking about.
Gaz.
You met the Gaz.
Gaz. Good old Gaz.
The Gaz man.
Gaz,
Are
man.
you Googling that?
No, who's Gaz?
Talking about when you met Ryan Gosling on the set.
Oh, Gosling?
La La Land.
Shit, man. Gosling. That guy is cool. Yeah, I'm working, and I got to work with Chazelle, who was he's killing it. And yeah, that movie just did so well. The best is when you get to, did I say this? The best is when you get to like add a little something, remember? Like the laugh at the end when you button it or something. And that job, I really felt like everyone was playing, and we knew the scene. And everyone was really like just playing around, and at the end of the day, it was like bro hugs, and that was a great day, man. Thanks for playing, everybody, like Chazelle, Gosling,
Legend?
No, Legend's not a hugger.
No, he's not.
Not a hugger.
He was in your scene though.
Yeah, he was totally there. Not a hugger, but everyone was laughing at what we were doing, and I had to play this like big. Asshole over the top like radio DJ, and yeah, it was a great day. It was just a great day. Like regardless of what happens when this comes out, I know I did my job and a little bit more.
And you went to the premiere and you saw that final cut, and there you were.
I didn't go to the premiere.
Oh, you did?
I didn't get invited to the premiere.
Why not?
Because I'm a lesser known.
Well, with my help, you're not gonna. With my help, you will be invited.
It's literally about how we're all lesser knowns.
Hey, but he got to go to the other premiere. But you were a pretty big part in that movie, to Fast and Furious.
Well, Rob Cohn's very cool. He's a very cool guy. I don't know. I didn't go to that. But
Does that mean we get to do another?
But here's the thing. I didn't see the film. I got the screener, but I'm okay. I didn't watch it, but my friend went to see it. Well, I don't watch a lot of the stuff I'm in. It's like it's kind of interesting, but I always feel like I just need the work. I don't need to know I'm in it or necessarily. But a friend of mine went to go see it, and he was like, "Oh shit, there you are." He's like, "It was really quick though," and I was like, "Oh, okay." Like I already knew I already knew. I was like, "Oh, okay." They edited it. So I guess I'm just like in a montage thing. But,
Cut out. Ding.
Yeah,
Another cut out.
My face is still in it, I think.
Oh, I saw it. I remember your face. It was great. You smiled, and John Legend gave you a hug, and that was the end of the scene.
He gave me a fist bump, and then I just fade out. I just dissolve. But yeah, it was a fun job.
All right, I need you to do me a favor.
Let's talk.
I need you to buckle into your seat because we were hitting the most tension-filled part of the show. Will, cue the music. This is the part of the show we call method acting.
Oh, God.
I know, everyone gets that look when I say that. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, method acting is when I will give you the scenario, and you will give me the line your character would say in this scenario.
Wait, I'm working now?
Yeah. This isn't a joyride here.
Shit, no kidding.
You're in the hot box
Sharp turn now.
You're in
Okay.
the hot box.
Oh,
And it's about to get hot.
suddenly I have to use a restroom.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You plug it.
All right, plug it.
You plug it. You tie that in a knot. Here we go.
Mr. Voight do? He plugged that shit.
Mr. Voight, he'd have someone pee for him. I don't know.
Don't put your phone away. There's no cheating here.
All right, what are we doing?
Doing method acting.
Okay, great.
Here we go. Scenario 1. You're driving in your car on the 405.
Never.
You are, for the sake of this.
Oh, sorry.
You get cut off by a car, and you realize it's John Voight driving an 87 LeBaron.
Fuck! Holy shit, that's John Voight! John! Fuck!
Very good.
All right.
Next scenario. You're at the bar.
Easy.
You have your co-star, who's a female, next to you. The bartender pops open the beer, looks at you, and he says, "That girl's way too fine for you."
Shut the fuck. What? Yeah, I know. Who's this, your dad?
Cut. Very good. This has been method acting. David, I'm going to end the show with the way I end every show when I ask my guests this one simple question. What would David Douglas now tell David Douglas driving down the 5 to Los Angeles to move here? What advice would you give yourself?
Don't wait. Don't wait. The first mistake you'll make is you're going to wait. Because you're going to think that if you just do your best, and I know what you're thinking. Don't wait. Keep yourself busy. Go to an open mic. Write a poem. Write a song. Write a one-man show. Go to shows. Stay in a class. Do something that keeps your mind off of what you don't have yet, but is eventually coming to you. But don't wait. It will save you heartache. It will save your mind. It'll save your energy. And just keep doing what you're doing, because there's good people out there that'll help you. They are there.
Dave, that's a fantastic answer.
Hey.
We're going to get you out of here on that one. I want to give a huge thank you to my guest today, David Douglas.
Thanks, you guys. This was fun.
We wish you much success in your future auditions. I'll probably be doing a few of those, but I'll see you
Let's keep
when
working,
you come
man.
in.
Absolutely.
Huge thank you to producer Will for taking great
Producer
notes and
Will.
opening all of the beers we had
So great.
during the whole session. And also, don't forget to tune in next week. We got a fantastic guest coming on. It's none other than Ryan Gosling. There's only one way to find out if this is true or not. to tune in and see if Ryan Gosling will be here. Till next week, I'm Robbie D, and you've listened to Robbie D and the Lesser Knowns.
Robbie D and the Lesser Known.